In this video, I'm going to talk about advanced custom audiences, okay? And why you should be building them and what makes them so powerful, okay? So I'm inside of audiences in the asset library and I've actually filtered by custom audiences, okay? So some of the biggest and the most important custom audiences and the ones that get the best results are the ones that are built inside of Facebook and Instagram, okay? So these are the ones that you want to be building. And let me show you some of them. Okay, so I've sorted by size as well. So you can see this is 160,000 in size. And this is all legit, okay, because this one is actually targeting, it's built off an engaged IG business 365 days audience. Okay, so what is that? Okay, so let's click on edit and I'll show you. I'll show you how to build this audience as well. Okay, so you can see that for this particular page on Instagram, I've actually selected this option. Everyone who engaged with your business, okay? And that's over 365 days. And it's getting me a huge audience size, okay? And this one does really well, okay? What you can do as well is you can build a lookalike audience of that as well. And I'll talk about that shortly, okay? So that's a great one. So look at building audiences from your Instagram, your Facebook assets, okay? The next one I want to show you is same again. It's very similar. These tooltips are so annoying. Similar to the one above. So this is engaged IG post or ad 365 days. Okay, so very similar to the one above. So let me click on edit and I'll show you how I built that. Okay, so this time I selected this option. People who engage with any post or ad. This is one of my favorites actually because shows you people who are engaged. Okay, and they're commenting, they're liking, they're sharing. That's both organic posting and paid ads as well. Okay, so very important. This only works if you have legitimate followers on your Facebook or Instagram. Okay, so if you bought likes, fake likes, or you have bot traffic, the audiences are you're still gonna be able to build the audiences, but they're not gonna be as useful to you. Okay, because it's obviously not real people. We want real people in these audiences. So how do you build these types of audiences? Okay, well, you go to create audience. You want to click on custom audience. Okay, and this time you want to select engagement. Okay, and you have the two options that I like the most of is Facebook page and Instagram business profile. Okay, you should definitely be building audiences of these two. Let's do the Facebook page because I'm sure most of us have got a Facebook page, and you can see the options that you have. Okay, so you can target everyone. You can build an audience of everyone who engaged with your page, anyone who visited your page, people who engaged with any post or ad, people who clicked any call to action button, people who sent you a message, people who saved your page or any post. Okay, so I tend to ignore the bottom two because people who send you a message on your page are typically going to be either people with too much time on their hands, or if you're running a product or a service, it's going to be like customer support, right? It's going to be somebody chasing an order or something like that. And I don't really want an audience of these people. Okay, I generally want to avoid these kind of people. And also the audience sizes aren't going to be that big for these two. Okay, whereas anybody who visited your page, engaged your page, and especially if you're running paid ads, you're going to have thousands of people in these. Okay, so I definitely use the first three. Okay, and test the call to action button if they've clicked it. Again, that's obviously going to be narrowing down your audiences, but it might be worth a test. Okay, and then you want to split test obviously the number of days. Okay, I like to use the full 365 because that's what Facebook gives us, just as far back as they go, and now obviously ensures that you have the biggest audience possible. Okay, but you can test it for 30 days, 50 days, 100 days, whatever. It all depends on the amount of traffic that you're driving to your Facebook page. Okay, I'm gonna close that down. Let me show you the next one. So this is Instagram business profile. So you want to click the same again, but this time you want to select is Instagram business profile. Okay, I'm going to do the same again. Okay, so the first one is everyone who engaged with your business, anyone who visited your business profile, anyone who engaged with your post or ad, and you have the other two as well. So anyone who sent you a message or saved any post or ad. Okay, so I definitely recommend you building an audience of the first three. You might want to build an audience off the message because with Instagram, I have noticed that a lot of profiles will have, DM for wholesale inquiries or DM for joint ventures. So direct message basically. So that might be useful, okay? That could be useful potentially to your business or service. It really depends on what type of Instagram profile you run, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily discount this on Instagram because it's very common, and I've seen it across the board with several profiles where they are open to do like a collaboration or like a joint venture, or if they sell products, they're willing to accept wholesale inquiries. So it might be worth for you to test that out, okay? Again, as the similar to the other one, you want to test the date, the range. I like to keep it to 365. I just keep it as long as possible, and just maximize my audiences, okay? Because I work within like a sub niche, I don't really, the actual range doesn't really matter, because I know that people are going to be interested in this particular brand, which is fashion retail, whether it's 365 days ago, or if it's 3 days ago, if it's 10 days ago, or 30 days ago, okay? Their interest in this niche, in this industry, is not going to die out over the course of a year, okay? Because I know for a fact this industry is full of passionate people, passionate buyers, customers, engagers, clickers. So the range is not going to make that much difference, okay? If you're doing like a specific offer, like a flash sale or something, then you might want to limit your date range, okay? Because they buy, if you're targeting, for example, if you're trying to build an audience for a retargeting campaign, then if you're going to go back 365 days, chances are people aren't going to remember what they saw 365 days ago on Facebook, right? Let alone what they did 355 days ago, or what they ate 365 days ago, okay? So think about what the offer is, and are they likely to remember you, okay? That's ultimately the importance of this range, okay? And obviously test it out across 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, etc. Okay, so that's how you build audiences with Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so now that we have these huge sizes, we can actually build lookalike audiences. Okay, so now lookalike audiences are supremely powerful. I think I discussed it in another video where we said that basically Facebook takes the source data, which is this, any custom audience is source data. You can also use a list, like a buyer's list or a newsletter list, and you can then turn that into a lookalike audience. Okay, so basically we're saying to Facebook, look, we have an engaged IG business audience of 160,000 users. You create a lookalike of this data set. Okay, find me more people that interact in this particular way. Okay, now it could be engaged with a business, it could be engaged with a page, post or ad. It's entirely up to you. The only caveat for this is make sure your audience size is above 1,000. Okay, so the lowest I would go is up to this one here. Okay, so we have some ManyChat audiences at 1,200. We also have a newsletter at 1,200. So I wouldn't go any lower than this. Okay. Typically, you want to be as big as possible. Okay, because that gives Facebook a bigger sample to then supercharge your lookalike audiences. And the bigger this number is, the better your lookalike audience is going to perform. Okay. So what you want to do is highlight any of the audiences, click on create lookalike audience, and then we build a audience here, okay? And have a look at the lookalike audiences video that I've shared with you before, okay? And that's an advanced step, okay? The other things I like to do are like events. Okay, so let me show you this one. Let me untick this one. This one's an interesting campaign. So this is IC no purchase. Okay, so that's initiate checkout but no purchase. Okay, so it's kind of middle of the funnel event. Let's see what it looks like, and I'll show you how you can build it. Okay, so now we're going to use events. Okay, so we're going to say anybody who's initiate checkout in the last 180 days, but they haven't purchased in the last 180 days. Okay, so we could use this particular audience as a retargeting audience. Okay, if they've initiated checkout, so we know they've gone to the checkout page, but they haven't completed the order. Okay, so that might be very useful to run that over 3 days, 7 days, etc. Again, I've done this. So this is the top end of the funnel. So this is A2C, no IC. So that means, let me show you inside. That means add to cart, right? Over 180 days, but they haven't initiated checkout. Okay, so we've got an exclusion here. Okay, of 180 days. So again, another excellent candidate for a retargeting audience. So if you have any retargeting campaigns, you want to test like dynamic product ads or manual retargeting campaigns, these are great audiences to test, okay? And I'll show you how to create that. So you want to go to custom audience. This time you want to select website traffic, the second option, okay? You can do all website visitors, or you can select the actual events, okay? So you can do all website visitors, so you could do, 180 days website visitors, but you can exclude, say, purchasers, okay? So this will be targeting all website visitors in the last 180 days, but exclude all purchasers, okay? That's a good one. But if you wanted to do add to cart, but they did not initiate checkout, you just click here, select the add to cart over 180 days, and then you want to click exclude, okay? So you want to exclude people who haven't initiated checkout, and then from here you select initiate checkout, and then just do it for the same age range, okay, or 30 days or 14 days or whatever. Give it an audience, and that's how you build an add to cart, no initiate checkout audience, okay? And you can do this for any part of your funnel, or lead, or opt-in, whatever it is, okay? So you can do page view, so anybody who's landed on a page but they haven't added to cart, okay, that's a good one. Or you can do anybody who's added payment info, so they've got really far down into your funnel, but for whatever reason they haven't bought from you, okay, which is obviously a big problem for anybody selling. So you might want to create an audience for this. Obviously, as you go further down the funnel, your audiences are going to be much smaller, okay, so just factor that in. When you've created an audience name, click on create audience, and it creates one of these, okay. Another good one is, let me show you this one. So this is a more advanced technique. You can build audiences of people who visited specific web pages. Okay, so let's say you're selling t-shirts on our web store. You want to see, you want to build an audience of people who are, visiting the blue red t-shirt page. Okay, how do you create that? Well, here's what the audience looks like. This is how you create it. So you go to create audience, custom audience. It's website traffic again. And this time you want to select people who visited a specific web page, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to take the chunk of the URL that has that is unique, okay? So you don't need the whole URL. You don't need like www.mywebsite.com/products/collections/t-shirts/blue t-shirt, okay? You can just put blue t-shirt. So if your unique product was blue t-shirt, you just need to put this in, okay? You don't need to put the whole URL in. You can put the whole URL in, there's nothing stopping you, but ease of use, just put in what they call in the industry the slug, right? Just a bit on the end of the URL, okay? And again, because this is an external site, the maximum you can go to is 180 days. So a good rule of thumb is if they are leaving Facebook, it's 180 days. If they're within Facebook, it's 365 days, okay? So with events like Instagram pages and posts and ads and Facebook pages, you're going to be able to create audiences up to 365 days, okay? Because they're not leaving Facebook. Once they leave Facebook, it's only limited to 180 days. So that's how you build an audience of people who visited a specific web page, okay? There's another one you can do as well called visitors by time spent, okay? So you can do visitors by time spent, and you can do 5%, 10%, or 25% percentile, okay? And again, that's up to 180 days. So if you want to know the top 25 users on your website, blog, landing page, event, whatever it is, you can build that audience, okay? And obviously, the higher up you go, the lower your audience size is going to be, okay? And the last one I want to show you before I wrap up this video is one that's really interesting for you e-commerce people, okay? So I built this audience of the e-commerce page. Where is it? I've got too many things selected. Just bear with me. Uncheck all, check all, and let's go to this one, okay? So I'm going to click edit. I'm going to show you how to build this, okay? So this is a bit more advanced technique, but this one says anybody who purchased in the last 180 days and had an order value of greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so that's super charged audience. Okay, it's going to be much smaller, which is fine. We want quality, not quantity. But we're building an audience of people who we know buy at least 2 or more items. Okay, so that's going to be a very targeted audience. Okay, so how do you build that? Okay, so you go into create audience again, custom audience, and this time it's website traffic. Okay, and this is going to be purchase, and then we're going to refine it by. Okay, so you want to select aggregate value, and then you can select frequency, sum, or average of, minimum, maximum. Okay, I just stick to frequency for this one, and we're basically telling Facebook, anybody who has purchased in the last 30 days with an order value of greater than or equal to 2, okay, or 5 or 10 or whatever. Okay, now once the order value goes up, your audience size is going to go down. Okay, so just bear that in mind. You don't want to go too high. Like, obviously it'd be great to build an audience of people who buy 10 items or more, but I mean, you know, how realistic is that? Like, how many people are going to come to your service or product or web store and buy 10 items? Okay, it's going to be a very rare occurrence. Sticking to something like 2 is going to be a lot more realistic. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Okay, the other things you want to do before I wrap up this video is you know, have customer lists. So these ones, I don't think I can filter by customer list. Let me just try. I think it's going to let me. Let's try data file. I think that's a list. Okay, here we go. So these are all customer lists. So if you've got newsletter signups, leads from external apps, if you've got order details, if you've got MailChimp subscribers or buyers or anything like that, you can upload that into Facebook as well and create an audience. Okay, so we have one here for repeat customers. That's a good one. We have one for all buyers. We have one that you know, is built off a lead app that we use on the website. So these are all really interesting custom audiences that you can use. Okay, and they're super powerful. And when you get to like a size of 1200, you know, go and create the lookalike audience and scale that up. Okay, so that's basically it from this video. I'll hope to see you on the next one.